nonchalant, open style way of. Yes, it should be. Welcome to the most
I'm an
scuffest
obvious now.
podcast.
Leave the music on for 5 minutes before we start, I reckon, just to give everyone a chance to get in, and then we start at 5 past, I guess.
You're very
Yeah, I think
alive.
I can hear myself on stream, by the way, Kuro. This has gone magnificently.
We're all good. We're all good.
This is just the start of the show.
We've got a proper production crew today.
No one
I would
told
just
me
go
there's
with
music.
this. Is this the plan?
Yep.
We're just rolling with this. Danny,
Oh,
take
okay.
us away.
Right, with that being the case, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Part-Time Podcast, the leading European podcast with 2 episodes. Yep, that's the reaction I thought with that one. With that being the case, you might have heard the voices already. We might as well introduce one by ditto. With that being the case, we might as well start with the German who was absent last week because he was too busy climbing the hills of Croatia. Kuro, how are you?
Miserable, and you?
Equally so, with that being the case, we'll move on to a fellow Irishman. Sam, how are you?
Well, not too shabby at all, Danny. How about yourself?
Also miserable, with that being the case for the showers of love. And that might be a slight giveaway for later. It is Adam, how are you?
Existence is a pain. I had to try and one-up you somehow.
With the
Although I guess that's undercutting, really.
With the dismal showers of optimism, we might as well talk about our talking points. With that being the case, will be the team overviews, predictions, the famous game of Who Am I? And that is going to provide some interesting moments with a special announcement there and the misinformed times. But, gentlemen, with that being the case, shall we move to section 1?
Yes. Let's get ready to bash teams. I'm all for this.
I was quite hoping to hear the intro sequence. That's always been one of the highlights of this. But I suppose we'll slip that in somewhere later, shall we?
Yeah,
No.
on Spotify and Apple, I'll be able to get that on.
Oh, good thinking.
The powers
See,
of post-production. Now everybody that's listening on Spotify is going, what are you on about? What?
Yeah, and if you're listening on YouTube, we don't love you as much. With that being the case, gentlemen, we might as well talk about London itself. We did do episode 1 all about that. And Sam, we have our 16 teams at last. And with that being the case, I'm going to ask you a very quick and obvious question. Who's going to win it from this 16 teams?
Oh, I to be honest, I've already done my prediction bracket, but I need to take a look to remind myself. Having a quick scan, I will say BDS are going to take it all.
Kuro?
I'm actually in the same situation. No, wait. I said... What did I say? I said Moise Eastwards is taking it all. I think.
Adam, for the voice of reason on this podcast.
I was about to say Gaming Gladiators, but I started laughing. I was like, oh well, I'm not saying that then. On it, it's hard to look past BDS.
Alright, with that being the case, I'll say G2. With that being the case, it's time for the roasting segment, and we'll just go straight to the brackets, because I've been looking forward to this. Well, I'll be honest, I've been looking forward to Who Am I? So we'll be starting with Atom. You are on the hot seat. You're going to have to justify your bracket, why you've picked it, and we're going to see if there's any dodgy round 1 predictions. So, Sam, do you want to take the first shot at Adam on this one?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Danny. Unfortunately, I am watching on Twitch, so I'm just waiting for the transition, and there it is.
Just for the record, Sam was talking about getting a video person in for a special project, and he's just slated him twice now on the same podcast.
Well, it's not actually his fault. It's really the Twitch service to blame. I think that Falcons are not going to beat G2 or FaZe.
Hold on.
And they're not going to take BDS to Game 7 either.
Kuro, why have you written your predictions on this
No.
multiple times?
Kuro's realised that my prediction's superior.
No, I just
That's it,
realised...
he's trying to claim it for himself.
No, I just realised I added everyone else's predictions, but not mine.
Alright, with that being
All
the
good.
case, you can fix that in between it, so... Do you want to talk about your point in the game there, Adam? Or Sam, because I'm too busy laughing at Kuro?
Well, I don't think Falcons are going to win against FaZe or take BDS to Game 7 or beat G2 or take Moist to Game 7. I don't know why you think that, but it's a little bit of a weird pick.
Right. I'll take you through the phase then. Sorry, the Falcons.
Oh my
run
God,
as a
Fury are
point.
top 3. What are you doing? What is this?
Right. Can I defend myself on the Falcons run first?
Yeah.
Alright, defend yourself.
Liquid, it's their first LAN. I think that they're going to show promise, but I think Falcons ultimately having a little bit of LAN experience, and especially recent experience, seeing as there was just a LAN a few weeks ago, I think that'll serve them in good stead to win in Game 5. FaZe Clan, FaZe don't know how to defend, quite simply, and I think Falcons will absolutely smash them for that, and I honestly think FaZe will go out of this tournament very, very quickly.
Yeah, I see them
because of
losing
that.
the Carmine Co-op in the losers round 2, if
Yes.
that's correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. I noticed you've
Right.
got one NA team in the top 6. I feel like this could be a slightly biased account.
Right. Okay. So that's what's going to happen with FaZe. Falcons, admittedly, the 4-3 losses to BDS, and Moist is me just completely hedging my bets in case they do actually turn up against the real top teams at this event. But I don't consider FaZe being one of the top teams at this event.
Because
Now-
why would you? They've only won like 7
'Cause-
regionals, you know? It's
They've not won 7 regional. They've only had what? Well, they won 1 regional this time. I'll give them that. But that was in a region that just a couple of months ago NRG was the top team, and look where they are now.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's complete
So-
waffle. This is ridiculous. Why do you not
Right.
have any NA teams in the? You have one NA team in the top 6, and
Right.
they come 6th, and it's G2, the best team in North America, coming top 6.
Falcons, I'll have you know, last time they played G2, they beat G2, and that was with a sub.
They did, yeah, but G2.
I know the team's a bit different now, but the team is also different for Falcons. It's
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is flimsy.
right. I'm going to defend the Fury one against Carmine Corp. I think Fury are just a better roster than Carmine Corp, and I think the main reason I'm backing them to go far is that Jan's been in the conversation of being at least top 15 in the world, and I think this is the event where he goes, you know what, I'm potentially one of the best in the world.
That one's
Because
fine.
of-
It's the G2 and the Moist and taking games off BDS. That's the issue for me.
Right.
Carmine Corp, I could yeah, fair enough. G2 and Moist, I don't know. man,
Moist-
this is...
The main thing for Moist is that Moist, in this split haven't looked as impressive as they did the previous split. I know that's
agree.
mainly
No,
I know
look-
that's mainly because they set the bar so high last time. But I think considering that Furia Moist was a knife edge last time, and Furia have just absolutely walked Sam, and even in a fashion which was crazy for them to walk it. I think they're coming to this event in a good bit of form. Moist aren't quite where they were before, and that's why I think this time, with it being on a knife edge before, they'll win this time.
I think you're mental. Does someone else want to chip in? I'm sure I'm not
No,
alone in this. This is absurd.
No, we've been enjoying you just kicking Adam down the staircase where NRG's still on the naughty step from episode 1. But, Adam,
Yep.
I'm actually going to help you out here.
Okay. I'm surprised.
Yes, so am I. I haven't told any one of you yet. I've done statistics.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
I know.
What
I
did
hit
they say?
myself already. Taking score, goals, assists, saves, and shots. So the old school way of doing the averages. You know,
Yeah.
the Cloudfield document. Team Falcons outdoes FaZe Clan by some distance.
Yeah, because they're playing in a minor region. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not disputing that, Sam. I'm just saying, if Adam wants to go with the numbers, this is his out.
Yeah, if I played in Silver too, I'm sure I'd have a pretty high goals per game.
Sam, are you really comparing the rest of the Middle East to Silver 2?
Well, relative to Danny,
The skill
you're not
gap
actually Danny. You're not actually counting ME regionals in that statistic.
the statistics what I'm taking from is each regional
That's a joke.
where they're from by their own average. I'm not trying to cross compare. I'm just stating what it is at the
Yes,
moment.
you are trying to cross compare. That's what you're doing. No,
No,
that's not how it works.
No.
You know
all
I've
that
got higher goals per game than Justin in
Hold on.
in
Let me
IEL.
just. I am just giving Adam one ammunition to fire here. Whether it's good or not is his business or not.
I think you've hurt him. I was
Can
liking
I-
this case a lot more before this. Go on, Adam.
Can I just take I just really want to point out the fact that of all of the things that we've mentioned here, I'd like to think that nobody. I'm enjoying that nobody's mentioned Pioneers beating Space Station in round one.
I was going to get onto that. Do I even have to say anything?
Hold on. Did you
Well-
flip the coin for that?
Well, KCP and Space Station went to Game 5 last time,
Yeah. Who won?
and that was despite the fact, well, Space Station 3-2, but Pioneers lost 2 overtimes in it. It was a real knife edge of the series. Pioneers were nuts. I think with another LAN, their first ever LAN under their belt, that I can see them beating Space Station, because Space Station are another team that I think have regressed slightly.
Yeah. I think you've got an argument there. I feel
The
like
only
this
North
is...
American teams that I think the only North American team that I think really is showing dramatic improvement this time has really been Envy, but then, last split they were nowhere.
G2.
G2 have looked very solid, but
Yeah. Top
Then-
6 material at Worlds.
I was gonna say
yeah,
that-
definitely.
But how does G2 get eliminated so quickly then? If they're looking good.
Right. Basically, right.
You can
I've
see
got-
why
right.
Adam first for this.
Okay, so right, in my top 6, looking at this, I've got BDS, Moist, Furia, Falcons, Carmine, and G2.
Yes.
I'm going to just use this as my argument. Which team gets knocked out before that you think really should be in there without a doubt over any of those 6 teams?
Furia, Falcons, Carmine.
Carmine Corp, as much as I wanted to see them fail because I thought it was really funny seeing them fail for so long, they're very impressive now. They've had
They had one
3
good regional. They came top 6, I think, right?
No, didn't they finish top? They finished at least top 4 in all
Top
3,
4.
didn't they?
Top 4 in Europe, top 6 in
Which
Major.
top
No,
4
listen, man.
against BDS, Moist, and even a resurgent Liquid, they have a better record than Liquid. I mean, they didn't reach a grand final, but
Yeah, but
on
like
the
Liquid,
whole, they've done better.
we're really the argument is they're Liquid and therefore should be top 6. Liquid can't get top 6 in Europe. Adam,
Hold on.
They did. They qualified for this.
they did once. But anyways, I don't know. I think this is ridiculous. I assume this was a joke that Kuro set up on.
No, this is Adam's brackets.
Right.
I'm not the only one who thinks this is ridiculous, right?
Hold on. Before we even move to that next point, I want to ask you a question here, Adam. Your joke pick that you done earlier, how on earth do they even have a game on the board?
Diamond Gladiators, I've only just chucked them in for a game because I would really like to see them win a game. There's absolutely nothing else to that one. I don't think they are going to win a game, but I figured I'll chuck one in because if they're going to win one, I think it's probably going to be a tilted Carmine Corp coming down from the upper bracket.
Does anybody else want to take a swing at at Adam?
Kuro, you've been a little bit quiet. I feel like you can't possibly agree with this either.
I mean, it's...
Unless the bracket's identical.
I just can't help but feel like, it's not actually a serious bracket. Just Adam did this, so there's some talking points for this podcast, but like... there's no way these are his actual predictions. But I mean, it's making for good conversation, so who can blame him?
Yeah, good
Right.
content. Look at Adam the Fool.
Moist finished top 6 last time. BDS have they've won 2 regionals in Europe, finished runners up in the 3rd one.
I mean, I don't
Moist
have a
been up there
problem
every
with the
single
final.
time.
Like
Falcons finished top 6 in their international LAN in fall, and that was with a substitute. You've also then got Carmine Corp, who are leaps and bounds ahead of where they were last time, as well as, let's not forget, Astral is very experienced in getting into the later stages of the tournament. and then you've got G2 there. That you know,
Yeah.
and I would also like to say, every one of those lower bracket games I've got going to Game 7.
So you're indecisive, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
I'm
I mean,
basically
that's just a
saying that-
bailout.
So
I'm
hold
saying,
on. Hold
I'm
on.
saying that if G2 managed to beat Falcon, like every one of those games in the lower bracket, I think is a knife edge. The only thing I'm convinced by is that BDS are the best team on earth right now, and that they will win this event.
Hold on. Every game's a knife edge, and just for context, our listeners on this one here, Fury and Moise is 4-3. Fury and BDS in the upper final is 4-2. As Adam just said, every other team from that is 4-3. So how's Moise in the grand final against BDS and losing 4-1?
Because that game, I think that whenever you get to the Saturday, I think that's going to be the most likely time whenever BDS.
Well,
come
I'm
up
so
slow.
I'm so glad the famous Championship Sunday is played on a Saturday, Adam.
No, for the semis. The semis is 4-3, and then they'll win the upper final on the championship Sunday.
Yeah. Yes.
Can
But
we move
the-
on? This is
No,
ridiculous.
no,
I
no, no,
can't
no.
even.
The upper final, the loser semi-final, lower final, and grand finals all in Championship Sunday, as far as I'm aware.
Yes, and
So you're going
BDS
to
in their first series are winning 4-2, and then they go on to win 4-1.
right.
I don't think that's too outrageous at the first
Okay,
series of the day.
okay,
They
right.
don't quite hit the heights they will later.
Okay, right, fair enough. With that being the case, I think we should move on. Adam has, I think, justified himself on how wrong his bracket is. Kuro, you're unfortunately up on the hot seat next here, so
Well,
let's
now
see
that I
your bracket
actually,
here.
now that I actually put it in OBS.
Yes,
We can show
I think with this being the case here, I think Adam should take the first swing since he's just been
I
bullied.
am
for
going to
about
have
10
so
minutes.
many swings to all of you.
Hold on,
And I have no defense.
I've had the least here so far.
Oh my god, what are you guys doing? What is this?
I don't know what it is. I just went.
Power beating phase.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then FaZe
Yeah.
are losing to
Enjoy
Liquid.
that.
FaZe
I
are
mean-
going to finish in the same position as Gallum Gladiators.
Yeah.
And just for the record here, this is the second time Falcons beat Liquid 3-2.
Adam, it's your
Yes.
turn. Get him.
Oh.
Go.
Right, I'm just having a quick
Mr. Burns has sent the hounds out.
All I can say is I don't see power beating phase, but I will really, really enjoy it if they do. And honestly, I don't think it's too outrageous a possibility. Especially if Amphis turns up, because well, in his first LAN, he was nuts. He could be the kind of player that does help swing that in their favor slightly. I mean, if they do win it, it's going to be skin of their teeth. FaZe probably not performing, but FaZe seem to be quite regular not performing whenever they really should be.
Do you guys have something against NA? Once again, one NA team in the top 6.
Oh wait, really? I
Can
didn't
I
pay
just
attention.
follow up with one question here? Envy gets beaten by Moist 3-0. How low do you value Envy at the moment?
I don't know. So I mean,
I think that's quite valid.
Listen. Listen, as some of you may know, I'm an avid watcher of Rocket League esports at the moment. The last event I watched was the Winter Major, and that was only the final day I watched. So, honestly, I just kind of went with whatever seemed fun. That's my predictions. I don't really have a lot of reasons.
This does seem fun. I'll give you that.
I
would like to see this.
Yeah, I just thought like what would make for a fun tournament.
Actually,
That's my
I just
prediction.
thought of a thing to really back you up here, Kuro, and inadvertently back me up.
Oh,
Nah,
God.
there's no way. There's no way there's any logic that you can put into this.
FaZe still don't have a full roster in Europe. AJ won't be there
That's
until tomorrow
true.
evening. He's
That's
had
true.
no time to prep, scrimming that with his team on fair ping. And I think that is actually something that really could hurt them, considering he's going to be getting there. With
I mean,
less than
which we
24 hours
definitely
notice in their first series.
which we definitely knew when we made our prediction brackets.
I fully hit that point, Adam.
I think I've made a very good point there to help.
Sorry.
defend myself.
Just I might have misheard you. Who's not going to be in London until day 2?
AJ won't be in London until tomorrow night
Okay.
because
Spicy.
he's had issues with, I think he was positive for COVID, which delayed him, and then his flights got cancelled.
And then his
Well,
luggage is now lost.
And then this is the soonest
Or
flight
is
he
it?
could get. And I should also add,
Or he's stuck
that-
at least.
Yeah, today he was in. He had spent 26 hours in the airport because they couldn't get a hotel until 3 p.m.
Mad.
like today. So
But he'll still be day one though, right? That's what you
he'll
said.
be there for day one, but
Okay.
he's not. He's not going to have any time to prep. He's going to be coming in, well, after having 26 hours of consciousness, one night sleep, traveling all day, and
Jet
then
lag.
expected to jet lag, no doubt, and then expected to play the first round of a major on the Wednesday.
Yeah, but they'll still be power though, won't they? Like, let's be realistic.
Honestly,
They 2v3 power.
I think you're underselling power.
I don't know,
Amphis is
man.
Amphis is a really good player. Tarsos is one of the most experienced players at this LAN, and Express must not be far off of it either.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I've got to be honest. I don't.
I hate to say it.
I
but
realise I'm also meant to be bashing Kuro here.
I hate to say it, but you've slowly persuaded me back to neutral on that point.
I mean, honestly,
Oh,
I just
yeah.
have like a personal hate agenda against FaZe Clan as an organization. So, I mean, I just don't want this organization to do well. That's my reason.
You don't like FaZe?
No.
Trick shot gang.
And welcome to the most teenage legs noise ever produced on the podcast.
Why don't you like FaZe?
Because it's an absolute shit show of an organization.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. I clearly don't have the inside sources.
It's
That's
ridiculous. They're not run well. Their content creators are scamming kids. Like, I don't know, man.
Is this the point where we throw the word allegedly at this moment?
I was gonna
Yes.
say I feel
No.
like this could do an allegedly.
No, it's just facts.
No, don't say that, Kuro. No,
It
stop.
is.
The opinions expressed here are Kuro's and not of the part-time podcast. With that being the case as well, too, I think it'd be fair to point out here that Kuro has quite literally made the mini European bracket here at the bottom lowers.
Are we doing the thing now with like this tweet was unprofessional and out of line? The person responsible no longer works here.
No, because we need a producer, so he
It's
will be
alright.
sent on an HR course.
Just to point out for the listeners as well, Liquid the Big FaZe 3-1, Carmine Corp versus Liquid 3-2, 3-1 against Endpoint, and then they play Falcons 4-2, and then lose in the lower semi-final by Moist. So why have you got KC doing the lower bracket run here to lose to Moist?
Because I'm scared of French fans. Like, have you seen
Oh,
have you seen
hold on,
K-Corp
sorry,
fans?
Sorry, you're scared of the French fans, and yet you've got them losing.
Yeah, but I didn't want to have them lose too early, so I put them until then.
Okay.
You would make them lose at a socially acceptable point.
Exactly,
to lose in
and
France.
you know, also it's a close series, so fans can be like, "Oh, we almost had him."
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Hey.
Speaking about getting guts, it's time to move on to our third bracket of Australia 4. I was going to say Australia there. Kura wasn't here last week or the week before that. So Sam, it's your time to be on the hot seat. I hope
After
you're
bashing
ready. I
all
think,
of us,
yes.
or Adam and me.
I'm looking forward to this one here. Will we see an NA team in the top 6? And by the looks of
Wait,
it,
there's
we
also only
have...
2.
No,
Three
no,
NA
no,
teams in the
three.
top 6.
3
Yeah.
NA teams in the top 6. That's respectable.
Oh yeah, there's V1, right?
Yeah, we've got some good representation. ME team as well.
Okay.
Furia almost making the cut. You know, got to keep all regions happy. So I don't think there's.
I'm sorry, what about Furia here?
Well, yeah.
What's the Sam hit here?
Well, they're pretty close. Top 8. You know, it's respectable. Better than Liquid.
Why is it all three of you went for the Liquid joke?
To be fair, the Liquid boys are young. They've never been at a
Oh,
LAN.
hold
It's
on.
like they're either going to swim or sink for their first one.
Well, speaking about sinking here, Fury the beat Liquid 3-2, Sam.
Furia to beat Liquid. Yeah, that sounds about right. No?
I'm moving on. You can take it here.
Nah, I just want
I've
to keep
got Fury at
happy with
top
that
six,
one, to
so-
be honest. I think that I don't think there's anything you guys can really pick apart with this. This is pretty objective, I
I'm
think.
just having a look. I'm
Uh.
intrigued by Endpoint going out. I mean, I can see I can see how they could lose 3-2 to version 1 because I had it 3-2 as well, but going the other way. But a 3-1 loss to Envy seems relatively extreme.
No, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I can see why you'd call that out, but
I think it's a tighter series than that.
yeah, I don't know, man. And Endpoint have a little substitute going on as well. They've got a bit of an odd situation. Envy, I think, off a I don't know. I think they'll be pretty hot after that series. But Moist always warm up the other team pretty nicely before beating them. So I don't know, man. I think it's I can definitely see that one happening.
I mean, yeah, the only thing I'm not going to repeat everything, but I'm just like, I don't see FaZe getting anywhere near top 4, especially the whole AJ situation.
What along that line there looks unrealistic. I mean, if they beat FaZe, then they're guaranteed top 4, which is what I've had them do.
Wait, if
I
they beat
don't-
FaZe?
Yeah.
Falcons, you mean? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Oh, yeah.
Falcons.
I don't. If they've had this little prep, I don't see how they stand any chance of beating any team that is in that conversation for top 6. Because FaZe are a team that, whenever they look disjointed or they're not quite on it, it falls apart so easily.
I agree. So what you have the issue with the Falcon with me putting FaZe over Falcons 3-1. That's why
I think FaZe beating Falcons 3-1 is not happening.
I think FaZe.
If FaZe do turn up and they do, overcome all this adversity, I do think they could narrowly win it, but I don't think it's ever a 3-1 series.
I don't see what could go game 5, but I don't see what department Falcons even have them beat in, other than the the not tilting off the face of the earth factor. Which, I mean, listen, it's an important one to have, but other than that, I don't see why they haven't beat.
I still just mainly go along FaZe not knowing how to defend, but that's me just being very, very biased. And I really should have sent Kuro the clip where I sent Gregan off on a big rant about how FaZe were getting paid to defend the way that they were.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like, FaZe, obviously, defensively, it's a bit of a mess, but Falcons, I mean, they're in a very similar boat.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the one unknown for Falcons is that they were very good in the fall major, but this is the first time we are seeing the main lineup, which is so aggressive. I will grant you that there is a chance it could fall apart, but I don't. Actually, there's a point. I don't see a world where FaZe beats Falcons 3-1, but Falcons are also good enough to beat Liquid 3-1.
I completely disagree. Falcons' entire game is in the midfield, and that's going to work excellently against Liquid, but they're just going to be outpaced there by FaZe, I think. And I think they deal with solo plays and the high midfield kind of balls in a really awkward way, because their first man's always a little bit too high up and can get caught by that sort of thing if they're playing against a faster team. If you look back through the international results, you'll notice that they never beat the fast mechanical teams. It's always the like G2 who just bang the ball constantly. They're notorious, or not notorious, but sort of infamous. I get. I'm trying to. They're well known for just banging the ball every chance they get and focusing more so on not being under pressure than building anything offensively. So I really don't think Falcons have it in them to take on a FaZe clan, especially if FaZe turn up in any capacity. But you make a good point that AJ's not going to be there and he's going to be jet lagged and this and that, but I think they'll still be good enough to take him down.
I don't really have much else to add other than disagree, but fair.
It sounds like a win. No.
I mean, other than that, I will grant you it's a reasonable bracket.
I've gone on the safe side of things. I didn't. I didn't take too many risks.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that this is definitely the most safe and sort of how do you say
in a friendly bracket.
No, it's like
V1
it's
endpoint,
the non-risky bracket. It's like the make everyone happy bracket.
V1 endpoint is a very tight series.
You think?
I think it's a very tight series because let's be honest, V1 Endpoint is just going to all boil down to if Archie or Beast Mode is playing better.
Yeah, I do agree that it's close, but I didn't think I'd be given that, to be honest. I thought
I
a
think
lot of
we
people
all
would be
had it at
leading.
3-2.
Really, I was
Yeah.
really expecting the endpoint to come through, but yeah, no, fair enough. We're on the same page on that one at least.
Well, with that being the case, the only other extreme notable to everybody else is that Sam so far has got Envious the furthest by the looks of things, but that's 3 down off the bracket. I just want to point out one thing that happened on our first episode. I did say in the green room I'll bring it up. Sam did win our prediction game last time around with 2 correct answers outright, and the team Adam was in second place with 2 correct winners. I, however, the caster who's done 3 majors, only got 1 of the 4. So this is going to bode well for me, and I feel like we've got 3 cricket bats ready to go after my bracket. So Kuro, let's get this over and done with. And before you have a swing at me, there is this mistake on my bracket, and I don't think anybody's noticed it. So good luck spotting them.
Let's see.
It's quite a bit smaller, I think. I don't know if that's what
No.
you're talking about.
No,
Let's see.
it's a result.
Oh, lower semi-final. Actually,
Yes.
and the quarterfinals.
Yep, I've given up there. Apparently, I went 3-1 in a best of 7, so just
God.
presume
I
that's
also
meant to be
went 3-2.
4-1.
4-1. Okay.
Right.
Oh, look at Liquid doing things. They've won a
Yes.
few games there. Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I like
yes,
how you
the
say,
furthest
"Oh,
of
look at
all
them."
of us here.
I'm not used to seeing Liquid win games.
Neither have I after 2 years with them.
Yeah.
I'm not having Fury going out on lower round 2. I'm not having that.
Danny, you and I have come to essentially the same conclusion with the final. We both have BDS winning 4-2 against G2, and Moist
did.
coming third in a close game 7.
I just want to point out as well, to the 4 brackets that we've made, I am the heaviest North American supporter on this broadcast, or podcast, which I hate myself.
I think we're
Look at you
tied.
go.
I think you and I are tied.
No, I think I had more in the upper semi-final.
Oh, in the lower semi-final, I think you did. And the upper, yeah. No,
Yes.
listen, fair play.
I
I'm sure
wanna-
all of
I
our 1NA fans are going to really appreciate that.
I would like to sincerely apologise to the European region. We're trash, and we should accept it early. Ugh.
We've got 3 EU in the top 6. We take those.
Yes. With BDS winning it.
The minor regions are not going to like you. You don't even have any of them making losers round 3.
Good. I'm laying down the marker now early.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
admittedly, I'll give you the fact that if Falcons go down to the lower bracket and they play Carmine Corp there's a good chance they go home there. I'll grant you that.
You are in
But-
love with Carmine Corp today, Adam. What's going on?
To be fair, they are very impressive.
Well,
the
have they
thing-
won
the-
anything? I don't think
No,
so.
but then just about every series I've had with BDS and
Have they come
Moist
top
has
2?
been a game 7.
What's
I
their
think they
best
finished
result?
third
Have
a
they
few
ever?
times.
I don't think they
finished
have
third
now.
twice. I'm sure they have.
Third twice. I've got 1 third, and that was in regional 2 there in spring. Other than that, they've never made top 4. 5th, 6th, they came once. I don't know,
Okay,
man.
fifth, sixth, and
I
the
don't-
first one, and then third, and then
And then 7th, 8th for the last one as well. Tough time, and they came third to Team Liquid as well, which is what accounting for.
I thought there was going to be more abuse my way, but apparently not.
Yeah, it's not bad, Danny. It's the lack of minor regions is a little bit questionable.
Yeah.
mm.
Right, well, I think with that anticlimactic ending...
all I'm just gonna say is my final point. There's not a chance that there isn't any minor region team at least top 8. So that's the only real issue I have with your bracket.
Look,
I don't
look,
see any of them getting past top 8. Sorry, Danny, I'll let you defend yourself, but
No, but
No,
2
no.
top 8, there will be at least one. I don't see any world where there isn't at least one there.
Hold on. I would love to see Fury go top 8. I would like to see Fury even in the final, Adam. But that isn't going to happen.
We need to set up a point thing for this for the next one because
Right.
I'm intrigued.
Can the next podcast just be us listening back to this and seeing how it went?
That'll be it. That's what every YouTuber does on like sports and Formula One and all that. It's like let's look back at our predictions.
Yes, this analyst is stupid for this one opinion that he said 2 years ago.
The good bit is we've all gone pretty dramatically different. Well, less you and Sam, but
right. With that summary, Adam, who has the best bracket? And you can't vote for yourself then.
Why is Adam voting this? What?
No, we're
Have
going
you
to
seen
round
his
the house
opinions?
here.
Oh, okay.
Right. We want to see who you agree with most. By the look of Adam's resentment, he just want to leave right now.
Right, it's tight between Sam and Danny, and it's because my only real issue with both of them is that I don't see any world where FaZe, especially with the AG issues, can possibly finish top 6.
Right, hold on here. If we push Fargo through, you're happier then.
What's that?
If we have Par going through, you would happily switch to our bracket right now.
It's not necessarily power going through. It would be at the very least FaZe losing in the upper quarters.
And don't
dropping
forget,
down.
if Furia losing to Liquid, your boys Furia, and losing to Carmine Corp as well.
So this is what we should do. You should have to pitch. Although I guess we've just kind of done that.
No. Adam, I don't want you to pick me.
As much as I really don't want to, I've got to give it to Sam.
All right, Sam. With that being the case, who had the better bracket without picking yourself?
Yeah, it was. That seems like an important detail. I think yours and I are pretty similar.
Okay.
I like most of yours. You're just the lack of minor regions is sort of the main issue.
Well, I would go with Adam's bracket.
Oh, yes.
And with that being the case, the quiet voice here, who might be the sensible one of the four of us, Kuro, who bracket would you switch to other than your own?
I mean, if I were to bet on a result, I would probably go with Sam's bracket. Seems like
I win, unlucky guys.
Safest one.
Yeah.
You will find out the real winner in a week.
Yeah.
What do I win for that?
Well, congratulations, Sam. You win the bragging rights of the podcast with the entirety of the crew.
Can I have +1 for who am I leading into it?
No, you don't. I'm looking forward to this Who Am I, and we'll get to more of that in a moment. But with that being the case, we want to thank everybody on Twitter, Discord, Reddit as well too, and actually our admin of PTP, and that being, of course, Adam, who was alone, very much alone with a coin, but we'll have to... Well, breaking news on that shortly, but we're just getting it verified. With that leading up to it, we have our fans' predictions here. I think we should go with a fellow RLCS caster, now coach for TT Willhaben, and I think we should have a bit of fun on his expense, and that being Spooks.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I'm looking forward to this one. I was sent it earlier, and Sam, you've been the most aggressive of the four of us, so feel free to go and attack this one.
Oh my goodness. I haven't even looked at it yet. It seems pretty reasonable for the most part, actually. Just in an initial glance, unless I'm missing something. It seems. I mean, Gallum Gladiators aren't going to win the game. But...
Hold on.
I see the big one.
What, Par beating Liquid 3-2? Or is there a different one?
Oh, that's not
that's
good.
the one I saw.
Yeah. Pioneers beating Team Secret as well. I don't know about that. It's a little bit questionable.
Seems like it's
Although, I'll tell you what, it's pretty reasonable, all things considered.
Danny, I feel like you're on a leash and you want to be released to go to town on the Power Liquid one.
No, I want to attack Sam because I was sort of hoping I wasn't going to do much of it, but
I think it's pretty good.
Let me put it this way: if Adam did make that goddamn good defense here for Par, I would have ripped into this bracket. So I blame Adam for this one. I hate you for breaking my rhythm that was going to be here. But, and this is going to be a but here as well too. Why are we all thinking so far here? And I'll throw this question out, and this is now the 5th bracket we've looked at. Why is SSG so lowly rated here?
Yeah, that's bad actually. That's pretty wild. Pioneers aren't going to take them to game 5 either. That's ridiculous.
I'm just a way to reload up SSG's results. So they finished 4th
They
in
don't have
Regional
results,
3.
Adam.
Let's see. Yeah, so they were 9th to 12th in Regional 2. And Regional 1... Okay, Regional 1 they were runners-up. So they're a bit all over the shop in terms of results, really.
They
Which
came
is
second
probably a big part of it.
in the last regional, did they?
No, in Regional 1, sorry.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, so they finished runners-up Regional 1, then finished 9th to 12th in Regional 2, and then finished 4th in Regional 3. Consistency is not really their deal right now.
It's certainly much better than I expected. Having a top 2, top 4 is more than I was anticipating.
I mean, I kind of purged Regional 1 from my mind, probably because I think that was the one where FaZe finished runners-up, and third, sorry, and yeah, it was a bit of a mess. Because Ghost Gaming made the big run and ended up finishing in the top 4, which I think says a lot for the quality of the Rocket League that weekend.
Quick question, who was on that Ghost roster, just to remind everybody?
That Ghost roster was Lion, Blaze, Shock, and Hawkseye.
I thought that was going to be the worst one, but no.
No, it's not the worst one. We were not talking about it. I better not make the comment I was about to make.
If you heard it live on Twitch and it has been bleeped out in our recorded versions, you missed out. But
I never named who I was going to name.
It's alright, honey. We'll move on. With that being where we are situated, I think it's time to move on. Spooks, we give your brackets out of a rating, what, a solid 6 out of 10?
I'd give it a 7. I think it's I think compared to what we're gonna see as we go through these, I think it's a 7.
Alright, everybody in agreement?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of the the probable accuracy of it. In terms of will it put me to sleep, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Because actually no, I would wake up just in time to catch the Moist G2 final for the repeat, but I'm a bit depressed about it repeating exactly the same as last time. I figured that there would be a better script writer for this one.
Cool. He's just smiling at us. I don't think he wants the answer. Nope.
No, I just kind of agree with Adam.
Alright, well, it's a solid 10, Smokes. Congratulations. You're not the worst bracket so far, being in first position. Right, I think we should move on to PTP, so our friend, and I think that being Jens, writer in the RL Esports, if anybody didn't know. Adam was actually sent this privately, as far as I was aware, to Anna's on the Twitter, so you could have had a brief look at it earlier. Do you know what? Kuro, you have the first thoughts of this bracket.
So, I feel like we've now been seeing a bit of G2 Moist finals. Kind of lazy on the script writing. No bracket reset here. What else is there? Gaming Gladiators winning a game again. Look at them go.
I'm
Liquid is making it kind of far. That's good, right?
Yeah, look at them go, doing bits.
Wait, how is BDS getting eliminated so early?
I love how you both skipped the key point here.
Yeah,
why is the upper final an NAG2 and FaZe?
Oh yeah, what the? Yeah, why does FaZe beat BDS 4-1 to then get 4-0 clapped by G2? How does that work?
BDS stink.
Also, BDS just narrowly beats Space Station 3-2.
SSG have really been having a hard time today. What's going on with that?
Yeah. Jens, why do you hate BDS? That's my question for this bracket.
Yeah, it's pretty out there. A couple of picks.
Endpoint's still getting hammered, by the way, in predictions, either going out early. So apparently Europe doesn't rate Envy as it stands. I'm just disappointed here. So, Sam, your rating on this bracket?
I'd give it a 5.
Kuro?
Well, BDS has 3 letters, so 3 out of 10.
Oh my god!
Okay, with that logic, we'll move over to Adam.
Right, I'm balancing it in my head. Because on one hand, FaZe is in the upper final, and I cannot stand to let that happen. But on the other hand, Jens predicted the same as me in that Gaming Gladiators takes a game off of Carmine. So I'm weighing it up.
Right.
No, the Gaming Gladiators doesn't matter to me. I'm going for I'll give it a 4.
Am I wrong in thinking that's the same grand final as Major and Winter? Or
Wait,
are
no,
we
so,
one
no,
game short?
I was meaning Gaming Gladiators winning their game.
No, I'm just asking,
Oh.
is this the same grand final results from the Major Winter? Or is it?
No, there was a
it-
bracket reset,
Oh, that
right?
was on the bracket reset.
Right.
Yeah.
I must have been in a trance there of how boring this bracket was. I'm only giving it a 1 because G2 got into the final and won it.
Okay, I gave it a conservative 5. I think that I think it's pretty reasonable.
I thought
I
it
think
was
it's more reasonable than most of ours, to be honest.
I thought it was being spicy with the 3.
Any bracket with G2 winning it. Get real. Anyways, we'll be moving straight on to... That's the G2 fan club against me. We'll move to another PTP here. Funny enough, that will be Tice's bracket onto this one. And you know what, Adam? You've been looking at these. Kuro's trying to be spicy, but will we have a little bit more calmness onto this one?
Whoa.
This is different.
Right?
I'm enjoying reading this.
What's going on
Where-
here?
Where do you want to start?
Do you know what? Despite it all, I can actually see it happening.
Wait, you were slamming Falcons.
I am
all
not
day
having
long.
that. Your biggest
No,
issue with
but
my
if you
bracket
look-
was Falcons.
If you look at the teams, right, that Falcons have to beat, let's assume they get past phase, okay?
Hold on. Sam, I could help you out here.
Go on.
Remember, FaZe doesn't have their players, so Falcons has an easy upper quarter final match. Adam's been saying that for nearly 40 minutes here.
No, I get that, but hypothetically, right? All they have to do is get past phase. Oh well, Moist is in the way. That's a okay. They're not going to get past Moist, but okay, yeah. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I initially looked a little bit cleaner, but no, that's not happening.
I'm just in disbelief that you've not got an issue with those first 3 series, or not at least not as big. I'm like, this was my whole defense I made, and you weren't having it.
No, I know, but you've got to be a little bit, more considerate with, a
you
PTP
don't.
member. We give the
Right. Just to point out to the listeners, while they two battle out here, Envy still getting hit, SSG still getting hit, V1 not far up, Falcons and BDS is the grand final. I'm tempted to move straight into our thoughts here. And Sam, out of 10.
I don't think it's that bad. I'll give it a 5. Again, it's a bit
Kuro.
boring, but
In terms of how realistic it is, 2. Entertainment-wise, that's a solid 10.
yeah.
Adam.
Right. I'm gonna preface this with saying that the only difference between my top 6 and Tice's top 6 is that Carmine Corp would beat Endpoint in that lower round 3. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
Right. Can I ask you a question here?
Yes.
Seeing you're this Furia man that you are,
Yes.
seeing that's a 4-3 result and it could go any other way, what was part of your argument, does Furia go into the final the same way then?
No, because I think there's a slight gap to between like G2, BDS, and Moist down to the teams below that. That's the only difference I'd say.
Okay.
I mean, the main reason I predicted Furia winning earlier in the tournament was because G2 generally don't look as good at the beginning of a tournament, which was also true in the winter.
I am sorry, Adam, for laughing at your answers. We have face cams for the 3-4 of us right now. Kuro has literally got off his chair, repositioned his camera, standing up like he's ready to either cast or deliver a news bulletin point right now.
Kuro,
Are
it
we-
looks like. Have you got a standing desk, by the way?
I do.
Oh, that's awesome. Good on you. I've been looking.
Listen, can I
I'm compromising. Oh, he's got good health. Look at him go.
See, that's how hard this bracket hit him. Like,
Oh,
he can't
Well,
even bear
well,
to
I-
look at it.
Well, I haven't been. Yeah, I'm kind of just trying to look anywhere but at the actual bracket. Yeah. No, good on you, man. That's good stuff. I've been trying to get a standing desk for a while now, but
It's
yeah,
nice.
no,
It's nice.
good on you. Maybe I can get a recommendation off you after the
Yeah.
fact. You can give
Yeah,
me
I
some.
can throw you a link.
hold on. Kuro, what brand did you get?
Oh, I don't know the brand.
Oh,
It-
what great selling idea we have here, and he's not even going to read the brand out.
Maybe we can get some sort of sponsor on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Is it just? Did it come with a tabletop, or is it just the legs and the stand?
No, it comes with I like the plate as well.
Oh, very good.
It
A lot of
takes-
them only come with the. That's awesome.
No, it takes a lot of screws, but it works.
Okay, awesome. Well, PTP sponsored by unnamed standing desk.
Maybe. Taste with that being put forth, I give you a solid 7 out of that. So I think we should move to
What?
another Sam bracket. Yeah, I like that. So we'll move to the other Sam bracket and we'll see Sam defend a friend or will he lose one tonight?
I have already seen this. It's you guys are gonna have a good laugh.
Is Fury in what? Par final?
This final. whew,
Oh my word.
I
What?
don't even know where to begin.
I assume it's a joke. I assume that they're not actually. I actually don't know.
Oh wait, B.
Go on.
Yeah.
Can we just go back to the very beginning of this bracket? Envy sweeping Moist Esports.
I mean, I was just gonna say pretty much like almost everything is a sweep. Like there's so many sweeps here.
Oh, I think they did say that they're not too fussed about the series scores.
Okay.
All right, so
But I mean,
okay, that makes
I
a bit
don't
more
know how much
sense.
that changes, but
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what? It's not that bad.
It's the most worst bracket we've been sending. It's diabolical, Sam.
how
Do
does
you not
B-
think?
how does BDS get eliminated losers round 2?
Well, V1's a good team.
Yeah.
If V1 do lose the endpoint, then V1 beat Moist, which is certainly.
All right. Just.
Oh, Moist are getting swept by Envy. Oh, that's
I'd also like to point out BDS getting 3-1'd by SSG and then getting knocked out by V1. That's
Yeah.
not happening.
I have just got in contact with Sam. He just sent me that the series scores are indeed accurate. That's his actual prediction.
So to our listeners as well, upper semi,
Also,
upper semi. Kuro, take it away.
I was just gonna mention how does Falcons get swept by FaZe Clan and then just goes through a lower bracket run to face Endpoint in the final and sweep
And
them
then beat
twice.
FaZe. Oh my word.
Right,
This is outrageous.
What am
Right.
I witnessing?
right. Straight to our numbers, and we'll go with Kuro first. Out of 10.
In terms of how realistic it is, that's like a solid -5. Entertainment wise, that's solid, but I mean, I can't give that more than a 5. So I guess if we average it out, -5 and +5, it's a solid 0.
Adam.
I don't know where to even begin. I'm in terms of entertainment, I would be entertained until I realised that we were in an upper final that had FaZe Clan in it. At which point, I would just lose the will with Rocket League and think about taking up the chess again. So
look-
I'm giving it a 2.
Sam.
You know, a lot of the time with these brackets, they always look really silly and absurd, and everything goes for the objective kind of safe path, and that's kind of what I done. But it's certainly possible that this could happen. I don't think anyone's arguing that. You know, BDS have a bit of a bad day. V1 pop off against moist. I mean,
Wait, but
certainly.
I want to
But-
ask
but
a
Sam-
question, Sam. Do you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this bracket's more likely or mine?
Not. Yeah.
see,
When you put it like
Because
that,
I think deep down you know the answer
I
to
was
this.
Yeah,
gonna
I-
ask, like, how do you roast Adam and mine's bracket this hard, and then here you go, like, I could see some of that happening.
well, I was sort of thinking at the start, we do need a bit of content, but then we got kind of quite a lot of the content out in the first 20-25 minutes, so I don't know. I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility, and I respect them for being bold and not conforming to these the Rocket League society.
Not conforming to society's demands and
Yeah,
pressures of it
I'll
modern day living.
I'll give him a 6.5.
I'm going to go straight with a 0 and move on. Right, with that summary of Sam's bracket, and that's the other Sam. Kuro, do you have any preference on where we move next?
Good question. Let me see. Is there anything spicy?
Well,
Oh, this could be fun. Moyat? How do you say their name?
Moya, I believe it's
Moya?
how it's pronounced. Emmy region this prediction, I believe, is
I'll
from.
throw you that one on.
And
Give me some thoughts.
we're not going to go straight with thoughts here. I want instant reaction, rating out of 10. Sam.
4.
Adam.
6.
Kuro.
5.
Right.
It's a 2 actually. I take it back. That one.
Okay.
I've got the chance to look at it now, and it's.
Okay, with the hesitation of the first flip flopper, Sam, why?
Oh, I've just seen Falcons, and yeah, I don't know. I.
What do you mean
be-
the upper bracket Falcons run? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they. Like, let's say they beat Liquid, then they beat FaZe, then they beat BDS. They're not going to beat Moist. It's just not the way it goes. I rate him for not putting the Falcons to win the whole thing though. After that run, that's pretty cool. I'll give it 2.5 actually. That's fun. Danny, what did you give it?
Up by 0.5.
I didn't give it anything.
You've just been stalling. You thought, oh, I'll get Sam to talk. Give me a second to get my thoughts together. And
No,
we
no,
see your game, Danny.
no. I think with
Cheeky.
any grand final with Falcons in it, it's an instant 0.
yeah, I forgot you didn't have any minor regions in the top 8.
Is this a how to turn an entire region against you speedrun?
Yes. Well, we have Johnny Boy doing ME. We have to have the anti version of it.
Yeah, we're the
Danny Boy.
antithesis of Johnny Boy.
It's Danny Boy versus Johnny Boy. A battle of the
Well,
boys.
I tell you what, I'm just going to defend my 6 here. The only reason I'm giving it a 6 is because my top 6 is only one team different.
Oh, well, that's embarrassing.
so should it should be the 5
all right,
then.
that's a minus 10 for me now since that's been brought up.
The order is dramatically different, but yeah, that's the only reason I gave it a 6.
Danny, do you see Dice actually is a question for you in the chat?
That's not a question, that's a statement. We're moving
It
on.
is, but it's a statement that.
Just for those just only listening to this, Tice Dice has just put in the chat, interesting, I got a 7 from Danny with Falcons in the grand final.
I feel like he's making that statement in want of understanding, though, and I was hoping Danny might be able to enlighten him as to why that might be.
Yes, and I'm moving on.
I that's fine, I've got the answer. It's just, you know how they say that you never really have a favourite child? Danny's got one.
Yes, and it's always been doctored in round 1 or round 2 in the losers, Adam. By all 3 of you.
The fact that it's for the winners bracket, I feel like, makes a pretty significant difference as well.
Yeah.
Just once again for the listeners, Falcons just going all the way through the uppers to the final, and then losing to BDS. So pretty
What
outrageous stuff.
What I will say, and this is not meant to be used as a full reasoning, has any of you actually watched the scrims between BDS and Falcons?
No, I haven't gotten a chance. How'd it
It
go?
was tight, wasn't it? Was it not 4-3?
It was very close, and the B4 Falcons could probably do it if you were basing it on the scrims. If you are, get out.
Oh, that sounds fun. Oh, I hope that happens now, because I haven't been watching any of the scrims. I'm happy to hear Falcons are doing well.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll turn up this
Actually-
time?
Sorry, I'll let you go first, Sam.
No, go on.
I was just about to say, if we're going to start considering scrim results, which we absolutely are not, but just in a parallel world, if we were, Furia beat G2 in their scrims.
Oh, so that makes it all okay then.
Exactly. As not that I'm in the habit of quoting a certain Scottish caster that's on the RLCS broadcast, but scrim results don't matter unless it's your favourite team, and then they absolutely do.
That's wise words from Craftman. With that,
Tremendous.
I'll tell you what though, we've got a good hour of content out of these brackets. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
good
And we've
thinking.
not
And
even
you got
got to the coin flip.
yeah.
oh the coin flip. Oh,
Should we kind
we'll
of
just
speed
spoil
run
it though.
through the rest
Let's
of
go
them?
to-
Right, quick speed run. We'll go Spylo, Psycho.
Instant points. Instant
Right,
votes.
instant points. Everybody just shout it out once you see it. And by how quick it's going on our ends, not very quick.
7.
1.
Why 1?
I'm always disappointed.
Look at Space Station doing things. Liquid
Right,
out nice
vote.
and early. BDS G2
Psycho,
final.
Psycho, quick move, Psycho.
Seven
Quick,
for me.
no
By the
thinking.
way, Psycho, the only one who did manage to send in the bracket properly.
With
Oh.
that being the case, I got sent it by a PDF.
And it looked like this.
Oh my word.
Oh.
I'm
Oh, well.
still
That's a solid -1. at
Yeah, I'm
minimum.
gonna have to give that 2.5.
I'm gonna give
Something
that
on
a...
PDF is not acceptable.
Just for the record, this is a CRL contender that represented Euro. You're a disappointment for all of us.
I'm going to give that a solid. Graphic design is my passion out of 10.
I'll tell you what though, the predictions are good.
Nope,
Yes,
move
but
on.
it's on PDF. We're not
Yeah,
taking
move
it.
on.
Yes, Jeff.
He gets -100. He's the worst predictor of this show so far.
Did you not say he was the only one to do it correctly?
No.
No, he was the only one sent it by PDF.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
interesting.
was the only one who managed to mess up sending in his prediction.
He sent it by PDF.
Yeah.
Why?
And that's like, and the prediction part is like where it jumps from page 2 to 3. So that's why it's like, has the weird
Awesome.
cutty.
Right.
Yeah.
Points
Anyway,
for being unique at least. Fair
yeah.
play to him.
So coin flip bracket. No, right?
We want Adam to explain this bit because this was his idea.
Right. So for the coin flip bracket, the series score does not matter. I only toss the coin for getting the outcome, which is why everything's a sweep. Which people on the Reddit seem to take issue with the fact I didn't do it for every single individual game.
Sorry, can I quote the series allegation, by the way, Adam, if you don't
Oh
mind?
yes. Actually, no. Let me just load it up, and then you can quote the allegation, and then I will quote the response, because I feel we need an official response to draw a line in the sand.
If you
Right,
send
well,
me the link, I
well-
can put it on stream also.
While you
Yes.
guys do that, I'm looking at this bracket. Why is this somewhat reasonable? Like it's not that bad.
Wait a
Gallon
minute.
Gladiators leave somewhat early.
Oh,
and
hold on. We'll get to the serious allegation first. And this is quoting from the Reddit. I presume I'm doing the actual admin response here.
No, I'll do the response because I was the one that wrote it.
Right. I need to get up the actual. This is.
this is why we only do this part time, by the way.
Yes, we do. The original
yeah.
response was nitpicking and biased, or based the way he originally wrote it.
So I felt that, the integrity of the coin, we had to take this seriously. So here, I'll just read out the statement. These are serious allegations. I assure you, all of us at the Part-Time Podcast take them seriously, and we will conduct a full investigation. I can confirm that we have brought the coin in for questioning, but so far has been unwilling to talk. I can reveal that we found that trying to purchase Team Falcon's merchandise, which we may believe have been a cover-up to hide its potential bias.
I've got breaking news, Adam.
Turns out the coin was a Team Liquid fan all along.
No. Unfortunately, the breaking news that the coin has been signed to Team Liquid as its new caster to replace me. So there was bias on the coin, and we will be sacking that particular 50 pence coin.
Now, Danny, it was only a 5p. We're not made of money. Just a little reference for anybody who listens to the announcement that we're going to be making there.
Okay. Any other final thoughts or says on our brackets and predictions so far?
This is my 10 out of 10 bracket because of Team Secret making upper semi-finals. And Furia finished top 4. FaZe go out to Furia, which I enjoy. And Gaming Gladiators beat Carmine Corp, which is just... And Power, which is just beautiful.
I think other than those 2 matches, I think it's pretty good. Can you point out any other outlandish results?
Team Liquid in a grand final.
I didn't. I to be fair, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, the whole joke of them becoming the new cast of the coin.
Yeah, okay, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Back to that.
It's all good.
So, huge thanks to, of course, who actually sparked that idea? Because it was somebody else from Reddit, if I recall correctly, the conversation. To that other guy on Reddit that gave the idea.
No, so what happened was we had the idea to do a coin flip bracket, but we posted it on the Reddit with parodying a title of somebody else because this other person went and did this big aggregate of how the community had ranked all the players to work out the best teams that people felt were the best teams, and then ran the bracket based on that. So
I have that in front of me.
Penguins. Was it Penguins 277, if I remember correctly?
Yes, I have the running order in terms of the bracket. So BDSG2, the obvious ones, Par, obviously Last and Gladiators at the bottom, near enough dropped off the table. That's us for section 1. We hope you've enjoyed the predictions, the bracket, the roasting, the potential banter, but all in good spirit, we hope. But now we are getting serious on this podcast. It is where we take our 2 highly intelligent, I did have the word analyst here, but I think that may be overstating it now. We do have our mini game, and it will be the return of Who Am I? But we do have a special announcement before we do play the game, and we'll have Adam for that.
Okay, so as part of the London build-up, we're going to be posting a special game of Who Am I every day. That'll be at 10 a.m. It'll be on YouTube as well as on Spotify. First episode goes up tomorrow. Main thing to keep in mind is that the real difference with these games is that every answer will be a player, coach, or a caster that's been involved in an RLCS LAN final. So, like I say, first episode goes up tomorrow. The Spotify announcement is already up. It talks you through the rules. We'll be posting a Google form on our Twitter, so that'll be pinned to the page as well, so you can go in every day. There.
I love Adam's sort of mini sort of point as well too. Yes, you know where to go.
You all know where to go. You will go there and you will answer.
Right. We hope you enjoy it. Adam and I spent a bit of time on it, and Kuro spent a fair whack of his effort with the graphics onto it, and we might actually see 1 or 2 of it here on
This sounds
the main
like
show.
a roundabout way of saying Sam done nothing. Which is completely accurate. I just feel like it's being hammered home quite hard.
No, we aren't saying it, because if we were, we would say it bluntly. But, gentlemen, it's time for the live version of Who Am I? Following the statement that Adam has literally read from the script as well, I asked Kuro to give me a name from the major. This will follow the same rule set that you would play at home too. Gentlemen, we are playing with cryptic rule set as well too. I will give you the clue. Feel free to type it to me on Discord, and I'll see if you get it. It's 2 points for each cryptic clue, 10 points for the actual answer. Clue number 1. This player has a unique Wikipedia page with a self-submitted trivia section. He is a keyboard player, has been active from 2016. His first league play went 6-1. Which team was this, as both of his former teammates are currently retired players? I thought I'd give you a bit more help here, and just for the record, Kuro had removed 1 snippet of this, which would have maybe given it away.
So, how many clues are we getting in total?
You get 5 clues, the standard rule set, same like the first episode, and for the future.
Wait, so this is clue 1, and then there's 5 clues in clue 1?
In clue 1, There is a specialized answer for this clue. If you can get it,
Oh, this is
Sit-
question 1. Okay, I'm with you.
yes.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Okay, so you're wanting
So
to know
like
the
the
team
cryptic,
that it was.
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Right,
Right.
okay, that's tricky.
Okay. We're not putting a timer on this, but once it gets over, when Kuro stops dancing, that's when your timer runs out for the clue. And by the looks of it, he stopped dancing. All right. And while you are playing at home, feel free not to do it live on Twitch, because the last time we done that, there was allegations of somebody looking on Twitch. We won't name names, Sam. Adam.
It wasn't me.
I was like,
All right.
all I'll say is I'll have to defend myself again. I'd spoken about the WSOE tournament earlier in that podcast.
All right, Shaggy, it wasn't you, but let's move to clue number 2. His first RLCS LAN was something special. It contained results against Denial Esports, Mocket Esports, and the Leftovers. What I'm actually looking here is the season itself. You're not going to get this assistance, by the way, on the online clues, by the way.
Wait, this is still the same question though. Oh, now you're looking for the season that this player played in?
I'm looking for the season for this particular clue.
But basically, Sam, overall, each clue is leading up to one player, but each clue also has like a sub answer.
You
Okay,
might have
I still don't have the player. This isn't.
you might
Oh,
have played
God.
this game before.
Nah, but Danny, you've altered the rules
I-
quite a bit here. Let's be honest here. Okay. I
Oh, wait, no, what season would that have been? I think I got an idea. I can't
Kuro,
remember
is
what
that
season
time
it was.
over?
Yeah, I would say that's time over.
All right, I'm just waiting and checking. Is there any submissions from our 2 players?
okay. 1 second. Let me send them your way.
I'll take that as a no and hurry up here. Clue number 3. His best result in an RLCS World Championship run was in 2018. They had faced PSG Esports, NRG Esports, We Damn Girls, Evil Geniuses, until the lower semi-final when they were knocked out by the eventual winner. To the people playing at home, I hope you're just enjoying this.
I'm assuming I need to name the player as well whenever I submit the individual answers.
See when you submit your answers, right? You can send me the cryptic clues at any stage,
Okay.
but your final answer must be when I read the clue. So it's worth 6 points. And just for the record, if anybody is keeping tally, it is 6-2 over the season. It's 1-0 to Atom on the episodes. So Sam could catch up here.
Oh, yeah, we've already caught right. So
By the
Adam
way, if
seems to
anybody,
be on his way to an answer. I'm still trying to figure out the game, so I feel like.
How?
if anybody is live on Twitch, you can DM me as well too, and I will give you a cheeky little thumbs up as well too. Right, so just for the record, Adam has submitted the cryptic clues.
So
to me
what's
so
what's
far.
the third clue asking for? What's the sub question
The
for that one?
third clue is the eventual winner. Who was it?
Okay.
right, so I've submitted the 3 cryptic clues. I'm just trying to figure out because it could still be 2 players in my head.
Right. Can you DM me who you think those 2 players were? Just for the sake of context when I run this back.
There you go.
Just,
Then,
ju-
yeah.
just to let everybody know, Sam has sent me nothing. Adam has sent me the 3 cryptic clues and 2 players. I hope everybody at home is enjoying this so far. We'll be moving to clue number 4. As Kuro transitions us beautifully. In fall major of 21/22, his team, Ground Zero Gaming, would qualify as the number 1 seed, 801 points from the OC region. They would finish up with a 2-3 record, with series against Envy, Tony Averki, Renegades, SRG, and the runner-up of this event in the run.
Do I need to say final answer for like loud? Are you
You
wanting
need to
that?
you need to say final answer. Just DM it, and then I will take that as your full.
Right. So you want me to read out my final answer?
No. That's
No,
you.
I'll wait,
Submit it.
right,
Your final
okay.
answer. You are still within the points now for the cryptic clues, by the way. So you can still play on here.
Yeah.
This is a
Okay,
small adaptation to this.
I've also submitted my final answer.
Right. Right. Hold on here. Can you give me the player as your final answer and the order of your cryptic clues? I'm not giving you away with a list here, Sam.
Well, it's in order, so okay, I can do it in a different format.
Yes, different format. I want it clear and obvious.
I thought it was, but 1 second. Okay,
Okay.
I have
Right.
updated it.
Right.
I can make it more clear.
Right. Just to clarify, since you obviously haven't played the game before, is your first answer at the top your final answer?
Yes.
Right. So you both have submitted in clue number 4. Right. I'm going to presume the order from that point is 1, 2, and 3 for the cryptic clues then, Sam.
Yes.
Right. So you haven't sent me clue number 4.
I thought clue number 1 was the player.
No.
Okay, what was the question of clue number 1?
I'll read back the
It
clues.
was their team from league play, and that
Yes.
and their first league play.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to submit an answer for clue number 1.
Oh, okay.
I will say flip side tactics.
Okay, so, right. Just to confirm here, so this is surprisingly taking longer than I thought. Your final answer is your top one there.
Yes.
Right. So clue number 2, clue number 3, and clue number 4 in that order.
Yes.
So you're not submitting. Okay. Clue number 5, I'll read out here because as both players have submitted in clue number 4, that's worth 4 points. Okay. Clue number 5. In April the 20th this year, it was signed by a new organization. Their result was instant. This team was first in the first regional, second in the second regional. However, poor result left the door open. A former World's teammate from Renegades by 11 points. So I'm looking for the player on Renegades, just to give you a little bit of helping hand there.
Player from Renegades.
Yes. This is the answer that eliminates a one person as well too, but I need you to submit your cryptic clue number 5. With that being the case, while they DM us, Kuro, did you enjoy this one?
Yeah, I liked seeing them struggle. I know Sam apparently not understanding the game. That's fun.
Well, it seems like the Twitch chat doesn't understand the game either, so I'm glad that I'm not alone.
No, they understand the game.
Well,
Tice might not, but anyways.
I don't like the region that you've chosen here. It's definitely why I have the least knowledge.
Excuse me. Kuro picked it. I only wrote the clues.
For all you know, I was talking to Kuro.
I was very directed at one way. Right. To anybody who is playing at home, each clue has a cryptic answer. You get 2 points for the cryptic answer, but when you say final answer, this is for the player. Just for anyone at home, we'll walk it through here.
Wow.
Right. Adam, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who.
Because I think this is unfair here on the length.
Yeah.
Which is
I have also not submitted my answer yet, but
that's okay. I didn't think you were.
Right. I think I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
I'm just picking someone else who I know is in that region. I don't know what team he's on.
Right. Okay. It's also the wrong region as well too.
Oh, I just realized who it would be, but never mind. I've submitted.
Okay. It's right. Kuro, can you bring up clue number 1, please? And I'll read out the cryptic clues in this order.
Of course.
Right, so both players have submitted in clue number 4 if anybody is playing at home. The clue was this player has unique Liquipedia page, yada 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 on. The key bit here is his first league play season went 6-1, which team it was. I can confirm it was Alpha Sydney. So Adam gets
Yes.
2 points on the first clue.
You got that right. What?
Yes.
What are you doing? Oh,
Right.
okay, well, he's on Wikipedia.
No, it was the second clue which gave me it.
Oh, I see.
Right.
I was like, I realized
Well,
it was an
wasn't
OCE
that-
team on the second clue.
Wasn't
Awfully
that the
sneaky.
legendary thing where, like on Denial, Sad Junior had to play Game 7 on keyboard and mouse because his controller disconnected? Was it there?
It is, yes.
It was.
And just to also, if you haven't looked on to this player's trivia section, it's worth it, but I'll tell you who the player is shortly. Clue 2, the season that you were after, I can confirm it was season 3, so that's 2 points to both of you.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Let's go.
Clue number 3, the eventual winner. And I'm just going to double check here, and I'm not going to say what Sam's answer was. But Adam, you have it correct. It is Cloud 9.
I know all the world champions except season 3. I just took a complete stab in the dark.
Yeah,
I
that
said
wasn't
mouse.
season.
No, it wasn't season 3. That one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was season 6.
yeah. 2018 is your clue onto that one.
oh, it was 20.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
As soon as I heard that, I was like, okay, it can either be Drippy or Torsos. Was my thinking.
Okay.
I know I'm
But
kind of
then
jumping
also
ahead,
you
Danny.
heard-
Sorry.
But then also you heard earlier that he's a keyboard player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I completely forgot about that as I was going through it. I never guessed at that point because I completely forgot that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I understood the game by Clue 3, but I got.
It's a fairly easy game, but people.
I don't know.
apparently
The
understand.
Twitch chat I'm seeing, Jens is a bit lost. Heist Dice. I mean, you guys were all here planning the game behind the scenes. I wasn't at that meeting, so a little bit behind.
If they listened to the intro, they would have got it. That's my answer to that. But anyways, clue number 5 should be on our screens. This is the
Oh, it's 4.
organization.
We-
That's a clue 4. Oh, sorry. Thank you for keeping me correctly. The answer, that was the runner-up. That was NRG. So both of you had that correct.
Let's
So
go.
clue number
Correct.
5.
Sorry, just for clue number 5. Can
Yes.
you just say if I was wrong? And if I was wrong, can I give the answer that I think it actually was?
Okay.
Because I realized I beamed it.
Right. There was only 2 answers that was possible. I think you've actually went for the only answer that you couldn't possibly go for, Adam. Yes, you
Yeah.
are wrong.
So
What did you think of my answer,
Ca-
Danny?
Uh,
I
y-
said
y-
Banana Man.
that was even the wrong region.
Right, should it have been Cammy? Or am I still wrong?
Kuro, you can see the sheet. I'll give you the pleasure of announcing that one.
Wait, sorry again?
Clue number 5, the blue text.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Adam,
Yeah, it
it
was
is
Cammy.
coming, yeah.
I was
Right.
as soon as I submitted Express, I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, with that being the
well.
case, Adam, you had submitted in clue 4, same with Sam. Who did you have as your final answer?
Oh, well, you're asking me.
Yes,
the
who was
player?
your final answer? Yes.
I said Torsos.
Adam?
Or sauce.
I can confirm that is the correct answer, so you both get 10 points. That does mean the score for this particular and only game is 18 to 14 points. Close match.
I'll tell you what, right? Not bad for a man who didn't understand the game. 8 points.
I'll give
Well-
you that.
Well, Sam, since you don't know the answers for the Who Am I special editions, you can play along with that.
Oh, I look forward to that now, Danny. I'll be doing it on the. Oh, yeah, that'll be good fun.
Yes.
And do you want to remind me where I can find that? Do you
We'll
think it's
go
on the
with-
Spotify, the YouTube, and the Twitter?
I believe there's also Apple too.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
also.
Apple.
Oh, yeah, we're also live on Apple Podcasts.
No way we on Apple Podcasts.
We are
Boys,
now.
we are big time, Good job.
Well,
we've-
not bad for
we-
something that was meant to be a scuffed thing for a laugh.
Yeah. Well, we might be part time for so long, and this is going quite well.
Also, very quickly, the thing I had removed from the first clue is that originally in the first clue, it already said that he's an OCE player, and then the other stuff. And I thought having
Yeah.
OCE and keyboard player would sort of give it away quickly.
Yeah. I think it was quite well done, to be honest. It's one of my preferred Who Am I's that I've seen so far.
Yeah, it wasn't like our first episode one.
Well, in my defense, Danny, we'll do a little segment on this. In fairness, the first Who Am I had a very different rule set to the second Who Am I.
No, just
Very
for the
different
record,
games.
no, the first one was Adam's rule set with a small twist. The second one was the same rule set as this one.
What do you mean this is the second one now?
This is
Oh,
technically the
second
fourth
game
one.
of Who Am I that we did, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
you're saying of the multiple games we've done in the last podcast.
Yes.
Well,
I love how there's an argument already on this game alone.
but we didn't have the question for each individual clue in the
We
second and
did.
third one. Oh, are
Yeah.
you sure about that?
I'll hold on. Give me 1 sec. I have the paper right in front of me. And just give me a second here, because you made a joke to this one, and I'll read out the first 2 clues to this one.
Okay.
Won a Rocket Baguette tournament, B tier, 5k. The second clue also starts with another Rocket Baguette event was sponsored by Celtics. You said, "Are we sponsored by Rocket Baguette?" in the first episode.
Oh, that was a good joke. I remember that now.
Yeah, and then the third
whole-
one,
The Twitch
then-
chat liked that one.
then if I remember right, the third clue is where it was WSOE was the answer. And then that's
Giving
where it
away
was
in
for
another
me.
episode.
I'll tell you what. I'll say I was wrong on this one. Fair play. I have a memory of
Yeah.
goldfish.
Right.
It's all good.
With that being the case, Adam is leading the series 2-0 on Who Am I's.
I know nobody can see that my arms are up in the air.
Yes,
in
It's
Twitch
the only
chat.
trophy that Dundee United's going to lift this season.
You're not wrong, unfortunately.
Right, gentlemen, I think it's time for us to move to section 3. And I think I'll let Adam introduce this, as he was the most happiest of the two of us for this one.
So this is our new segment called the Misinformed Times, and basically each week we'll probably give a bit of a rundown of the main headlines. But obviously we're right before a major, so there isn't any real headlines going on other than AJ is stranded in some sort of airport in North America.
Dare you? There is news.
Poor
Okay,
guy.
you can give me the news then, Danny.
Yes,
Oh, Optic Gaming.
yes, Optic Gaming, who decided to ruin the podcast by announcing they have taken over the Envy roster, with other smaller news as well too. Stake inactive, so is their coach Rick's Ronde on William Resolve. Following day is Freaky leaving BS Plus competition. Tadpole announcing his retirement. And who cares about that? We'll be talking about it on another podcast. With that being the case,
poor
as
Tadpole.
Psycho, we'll be talking about it on the off season. We're going to move to something more important, and Atom has been itching the pieces for this one. He has a section devoted to a player, and Atom, I think the floor shall be yours on this.
I thank you. So over the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of talk about the Mount Rushmore of Rocket League, but really, let's be honest, it was mainly people on the subreddit saying, "Yo, Squishy should be there. Oh, Gimmick should be there. Oh, let's just get these really mechanical players." And I think a lot of people have missed the point. Really, it should be about the players that have had the greatest impact. And realistically, I think KuroTenshi should be in that conversation. I'm going to convince you why.
I'm gonna cut in here because our special producer and graphics designer has made something special for our enjoyment at home too, which is the new opinion piece.
Oh, yes.
Yes, it's our new fabulous dials that I don't see up on our screens just
Are you
yet.
going to do the dial now?
Yes, we want to show them the dials.
Alright, let's
Why
I-
was
I-
it
do the dials.
Queso versus Space Station? It's a good series, actually.
Wait, did I link you to the wrong series, Kurt?
Yes.
Well, we
I
do
guess
some
you did, yeah.
commentary.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
we could do some commentary, but that being on that side of the screen, the dials is the season 4 team secret being the worst,
There you go,
mouse
relink
sports in season 7, true
Didn't
neutral for the
realize-
obvious pun, flip side being obviously good, and the Dignitas era for obvious reasons. So, Sam, where do you care about this topic that Adam has picked?
I'm trying to remember the topic. Obviously not very interesting.
So, team secret is where you are about this.
Go on. What's the who's the player?
Kaio
Karo.
TG1 from Furia.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who that is.
Well, I'm about to. You're about to learn more about Kaio than you ever thought you could possibly
I'm
know.
excited. I'm not good with the minor regions, to be honest. I've never been particularly good with the SAM or the OCE. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, you can do a nice piece on it. I will be neutral, true neutral. Um, the style is brilliant. I'm enjoying
Danny.
this is good. This is gonna be my favorite segment, I think.
Right, Danny, where are you on the dial at the moment?
I was on True Neutral, and then I've just done a bit of research because I knew who you were going to slightly do, and I just want to be slightly in the flip side zone.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at production. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Ooh.
Boom.
I like how
That's
I've
it.
got to wait for the stream to There it is.
Oh, we only said slightly. Can we not do a slight into flip side? Like a.
No, we don't have the
no.
production budget for this.
It's pretty good. We'll take that. That'll do.
I don't know what you think this is, but no.
Right,
You cannot
and to
do it
quote-
smoothly.
And to quote Danny Boy, with that being the case,
Just for the record, we were the VC. We may as well give this out. I give Seiko a bit of stick for his bracket. And he said in the first ever episode, I have also said that being the case 40 times. So that's being dropped in spicely for him. And I've been trying to stop myself saying it the entirety of the episode and failed at that.
It's one of your famed catchphrases, Danny. Don't be ashamed.
gotta
The
own
moment,
it, Danny.
yeah.
Gotta own it.
Shall we get to the main...
Yeah. Who is this guy? Tell me about him.
Right.
Tell me more, tell me more.
I sadly cannot confirm whether he had a car or not, but we will find out and get back to you on that one.
Should
right,
we now show
so
the
Kai-
series?
Yes, let's get the series up so
let's-
people have something pretty to watch in the
Let's do
background.
it.
Is this the correct one? And I presume this is from the main RLCS Twitch as well too.
It is.
Yes, this was from the Team Queso versus Furia game from the latest major.
Okay.
Shout out to Sonics for the permission to play this, of course.
It's fine. It's
Shout out to
fine.
the ads we're
Hold on.
getting.
Do you want to get the ad at the bottom?
Hold on.
There
Shall
you
shall
go.
we give some reviews onto it so it's like film critiquing?
Right, we're not doing that now, Danny.
The text is too small, and that's our usage. So go ahead, Adam.
Right. So, Kaio started his career back in 2016 playing on Nox Gaming. And to say that he was dominant in South America was putting it lightly. This team had 23 tournament results, 18 of them were first or second place finishes. And the other 5 were all in North American tournaments where he was playing on about 130 to 150 ping. And realistically, he became the first South American superstar. He'd go on to become a household name through Johnny Boy streams, notably beating Turbo Pulsar back in 2017, who just 4 months later would win his first World Championship. This would then be amplified further by the League of Rockets World Cup, where he would have a respectful 4-3 loss to Denmark in the knockout rounds after making it through groups, which included Germany and the Netherlands. I know it was a best of one tournament, but to give it some context, that Netherlands team was Remco, Violent Panda, and Niels Cook. Remco, current world champion at the time, Violent Panda would be about to earn a world champion, and Niels Cook was one of really a renowned player and by far the best player on his roster at Excel. That Germany team was also Pashe, Freaky, and Siki. Pashe and Siki having just come from an RLCS World Championship final. Obviously, all top level players, and really, despite again ping advantage, Brazil showed that they were more than capable of getting involved and fighting it out with these guys. So I guess my first question sort of throw out to you guys is, do you remember whenever you first became aware of Kaio? And considering Sam
I
literally
do.
said he didn't know who he is, I imagine that's a fairly recent answer.
Yeah, I do. It was a few minutes ago. It's I'm watching him play now. He's doing he's not bad.
It's all right, him, isn't he?
Did
Just
they?
playing at
Did
an
they?
RLCS major. He must be okay, I guess.
Did they win the series?
Ironically, no.
So
They
you're
lost
sticking,
for free.
you're trying to stick on evidence of why we should care for this player, and you pick him losing.
Well, it was either that or I was picking series that they dominated, and I'm like, well, I figured I'd give you a tight, entertaining game showing them against at least the second best team in Europe, which I think is a fair level to be at.
Sorry, can I cut into one point here before I follow up onto that question?
Yep, I'm scared.
Can you tell me more about Niels Cook and your description of him?
Well, he was the best player on Excel. At the
That was
time.
not difficult.
Well, I tell you what I remember about him. Back in the Rocket League Fantasy, back then I hadn't heard of the guy, but he was by far the most expensive player. I believe it was around season 6. So,
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah. Don't
yeah.
worry, I've got a bit about the fantasy league later.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
To answer your question, in terms of proper, when I've seen him was season 7, but I know you're going in order, and I'll follow up on that.
Okay, that sounds good.
Shall we go into the interested dial here to see where Sam is now?
Yeah, let's see where you feel you are on the interested dial.
Is this? So this is just how interested I am. This isn't
Yes.
necessarily.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely in the high greens.
Oh,
You know,
Have you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
think
yeah.
past?
Flip side, if it's deep green, it's in dig. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm definitely in dig. I can't wait to learn more.
right. I'm in mouse sports.
Okay, I've got to dig myself out the hole.
Sorry. League of Legends or that World Cup one of the best of one lost my interest. Followed up by, oh yeah, Niels Cook was on the lineup. I'm sorry, he was not good even at the time.
You know, Danny does make a good point. If you could move me back over the flip side, actually.
Okay, well you've got to grant at the time Pashy, Freaky, and Sicky were a good group there. At the time.
Our producers, he's not interested at all. He's on Team Secret now. He's
Right.
given up.
I've got a hole to dig myself out of.
Hold
so I
on, quick,
propose I
Kuro.
move on.
Quick, pump. Let's get this scale back up. Come on, Adam.
No,
Let's make
sorry. When you said mouse sports, I accidentally moved it to dig because in my mind, I forgot that mouse sports isn't actually the worst. I thought they were the worst, but they weren't.
We
They
had a
aren't actually
debate
the worst on this dial.
we had
so
a
sorry,
debate
I moved it
of-
wrong.
We had a debate of 15 minutes on that alone.
Right, shall I press on?
Yes, you've lost my interest with League of or that World Cup reference.
Okay, so after these tournaments in South America beginning to become known to some extent, the Rocket Streak Championships were formed and they provided a testing ground for hopeful rosters to do well. During this time, he ended up on a roster called Chasers. And to say this team really didn't set the world alight is really putting it lightly. Kaio was still on really renowned as being the South American superstar, but the team only finished 5th to 6th in the league. But the real reason for that was due to him, managing to draw in all of this attention. There now being proper tournaments, there now being a bit of funding in the region, albeit not major. You had an explosion of talent. So you had Card, Tander, Renan, and Shad, who would all go on to play at RLCS World Championships. Well, I guess with the exception of Shad because of the dreaded C19. And they were already joining the likes of Kaio, the Lotus Squad, the Firefox D, Habercamper, and Juan. So the first season of the Rocket Street Championships didn't go well. So what happened, Kaio's first team, Erodium, was formed. He, in essence, plucked 2 players from obscurity that nobody had really heard of, called Val and Math. And I know, Sam, you mentioned about the RL Fantasy before. I think anybody that played Fantasy in that first season of South America will know who Math was, because for the entire league play, he was the highest performing player on it, despite being one of the cheapest. So, yeah, for a time, though, Kaio was right up there he was posting absolutely huge numbers along with Math and Valt. The three of them were like making up the top 6 or 7 players on the fantasy league. And they really became the first team that characterized that South American style of play. You know, high speed, high pressure, highly mechanical. And this team really walked league play. They went 6-1 in the season. The only loss being to Loki, who tied them in their record. And whenever it came to the players for World qualification, though, there was a big shock with them finishing third, missing out on Worlds, which shook the entire South American scene. Meant that Kaio obviously hadn't made it. People were surprised, and no doubt people from outside of the region were probably thinking, "Oh, maybe this Kaio guy isn't what he was all he was cracked up to be." Now,
Can I jump in here, Adam?
yep.
Just for a bit of context as well, too, I did say about when I first got involved or when I first found out about this player. This was Season 7 that you're referring back to.
Yes.
Rocket League Central also was started to do an English broadcast. Guess who got rejected but less than 24 hours in 2 seasons running to do that English broadcast?
Craftman?
No, that would be myself, annoyingly so.
Yeah.
But, and I want to ask you 2 quick questions here. Are you not forgetting King Card at this point as well, too? Surely
Well-
he would have been the more dominant player at that point in time. So surely people would have been more focused on him. And your point about him, hold on, I'm not letting you off here, because
Okay.
this is meant to be persuading why we should care. If he got third in that regional,
Mhm.
which, by the way, still impressive, we're not denying that. You
Well-
had 4 strong teams to support. Erodium, Loki, Ince, and Lotus, arguably, were the 4.
Mhm.
And they got third.
Yeah.
Surely that's a failure. Surely he should have been moving elsewhere, a different lineup, a different roster, or not even bothering.
Right.
I mean,
The
you're saying
way-
he's the face of Sam Esports, but he's coming third. I mean,
The way I'm going to argue this back is that the breakthrough from the Rocket Street Championships meant that Card and that they had all formed rosters. They were in teams and they were all in set rosters for it. Kaio, it never worked with chasers, so he had to basically go to teams. Well, he had to go and pick players themselves and form a roster. So he took 2 guys that, quite frankly, were nowhere in the scene, and he took them immediately into being a team that was challenging all these established rosters in the region.
Okay.
And to the point where it was considered a shock that they didn't make it.
Right. I think it's time for the spicy dial.
yeah. If you can turn my dial down, how far does it go?
It
Season
goes down
4
to
secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it
want to
just
go there?
yeah, do that for me if you
You
don't
want to
mind.
go like middle or?
Yeah, go middle of the end.
So we
I
go
was
like
on
this?
mouse, wasn't I?
You have to give me a second for the Twitch stream. 5, 4. There we go. Yeah, that's looking good.
I was on
Where are you
mouse
looking,
sport.
Danny?
I moved into flip side. Adam's making at least a compelling argument, not a good one, but it's compelling to listen to.
I mean, all I'll say is I'm just going to shout out to Tice saying, yeah, it's not that they were only the third best Sam team. It's that anybody that would have heard Shamiko and that speak at that LAN, it was
Hold on.
it was they should have been there, but they
Kuro,
bottled it.
move me down to Team Secret. He's getting extra help from other people in his homework. Move me down.
All the way down to Team Secret. Oh,
Oh
boy.
my
I'm making Kuro work awfully hard here today.
Hold on, we haven't
All
asked
right, there
Kuro.
he is.
What's
Kuro,
your
what are you
thoughts so
saying?
far?
Yeah, we'll put in your dial.
Honestly,
He's not interested.
I thought Kaio would be an interesting player to talk about. I'm not sure if Adam did the best job, so put me in like true neutral.
Okay. Adam, you've got to dig yourself out of this hole once more again.
Yep. Right. So what I'm going to say is that Loki, one of the teams that did make it and had won that playoff, after that season and that World Championship, and quite frankly, their poor performance on LAN, they decided to make a change, where they picked up Kyle, despite him being the player that didn't make Worlds. And just actually something for everybody at home. This was the start of Card and Kaio's partnership. It was 3 years ago on one day that they've been teammates since. The 26th of June, 2019.
We've got
actually,
that in the calendar.
That's I
Big
celebrate
Fury
every
fan.
day with a cake.
can I have a follow up before we move further away from season 7?
hmm
Right. NRG, PSG, and INTS was Group A.
Yep.
I presume you remember, of course, being the Sam expert in here.
Yes.
Cloud9, Triple Trouble, and Low Key Esports. Would Carlo's team done better, or would have been the same outcome for a Sam team?
I think they do better than Ints, without a doubt. I think they I think they were definitely a better roster than Ints. I think
Okay.
they probably could have snuck. I think they maybe could have edged it against NRG because NRG were quite renowned for starting very slowly. To be fair to them as well,
I think it
and I
should be
think
fair
it
to
would have
point
been a
out
much
this was.
closer game against PSG as well.
I think fair to point out Fireburner, Garrett G, and Justin was this NRG lineup, and Fruity, Fair, and Josette, respectively.
Mm.
Just to give people context here. That's all, that's my only question.
Kuro, you've got to
that's
get yourself
fine.
an ad block, man. This is ridiculous.
I didn't know we were getting sponsored in this podcast.
No, what are these
I-
ads, man?
My work, Kuro is doing heavenly work here, trying to give us extra. Adam,
Guess all of the dosh.
Adam, move us on.
Right. So in season 8, Kaio would eventually go on to make his first World Championships appearances. Now, their first series that they played, they beat Veloce, and that was really a strong Veloce team. Number 3 seed from Europe, and really, given Sam's performance in season 7, I don't think anybody expected that to happen. I don't think
I did have
a
a good
possibility.
season.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Do you get the joke?
it's taken a second to click. I think it's because I'm in full monologue mode.
No, keep going. I'm sure
So- that would also be South America's first win at an international LAN. And they would then go on, admittedly, to lose 3-0 to NRG, but this was obviously in Season 8 in the NRG that went on to win Worlds. And it should also be added that 2 of those 3 games were by a single goal. And the other game, it was only by 2 goals. So they actually ran relatively close.
Can I just point out one thing that season 8 World Championship?
Mm-hmm.
Who did they get knocked out by, Adam?
Now,
Just want to point it out for a quick moment.
admittedly, they were beaten by Renegades in a 3-2 series loss.
And who was on that lineup?
There's a question. It was Seki, CJ, and...
No, it wasn't.
No, was it not?
No.
Oh no, was this whenever it was Torsos and that had joined Renegades?
And who else? May have been another cryptic clue.
Torsos, Kame, and Seki. That's it.
No, yeah, Kami, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not making a good argument here for this player in the region here. I know we've set the bar high, Adam, but you put it there.
Yeah. Right. So what I will say is that this is a Kame, and it's also something worth pointing out as well. This was South America's second World Championships.
And
OCE, this was their 4th. They had multiple years of playing at a higher level than what SAM teams were able to, and they were running these teams close, and they were running the team that went on to win the World Championships close. Admittedly, they did get beat by Renegades, but that Renegades roster was an experienced roster. Bar Seki, who was the rookie of that season. I'm going to move on because I feel I'm just digging a further hole.
what, shall we move to the dials, or shall we let Adam keep digging?
I think you can
Keep
dig a bit
digging.
more.
Yeah.
Adam, I'll tell you what, you've made a good case, but I think
You're
it's
still not having it.
I'll move up to I believe it's Mouse. But I think it's awfully hard to make a minor region team who's not like, I mean, they've never been top 8 in the World Championship, have they? They've been maybe top 8 once, is that right?
Well, they were just top 6 in the most recent major, but we'll get on to that.
No, it's okay, valid. But I suppose.
I think it's also worth considering that after season 8, we obviously didn't have a LAN until the fall major.
And that's valid as well, and they're definitely a team to keep. But you're saying the Mount Rushmore of Rocket League, this guy's on it.
In terms of impact that he's had, because I
You
don't think
think?
South America reaches the point that they did without a player like Kyle, and well, specifically Kyle was the only player like him.
So EU gets one player, NA gets one player, and ME gets one player, and no other region gets anything.
And OCE and Sam, we get 5 on it. We'll keep that. I don't
I
actually know
don't
how
know.
many are on Mount Rushmore.
That's a
I-
modern
I- I-
interpretation.
I'm basing a lot of my graph on how likely I am to put them on the Mount Rushmore, and you've not made. I don't think you made a good case for that. But
I mean,
he's certainly an
honestly-
interesting player.
Honestly,
on.
he's like definitely on the minor region Mount Rushmore. Like that,
Oh,
that
yeah,
one I would definitely
absolutely.
give Adam. On the overall
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
I'm not sure about it, but minor region one for sure.
Like top 20 most interesting Rocket League players, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know, Adam. I think you picked a hard case to make as well.
Well, that's it. It would be boring if it was easy.
No, that's valid, and you have made me more interested to keep an eye on Furia in the major. So you've done your job in that department, and as you said, it'll be interesting to see how they do now that LANs are back, international competition is back. We've only had two LANs so far. Now we've got the third one, then the World Championships, which I believe Furia already qualified for, right? So
Yes, they have.
they'll have a chance at the big trophy,
I'm
which will
pretty
certainly be cool to
sure-
see again.
If I'm right, I'm sure they were either like the first or second team to guarantee their ticket there. I could be completely wrong on that, but I'm sure it was something like that.
So
Yeah,
it's a
it
fact.
sounds like
Okay.
it could be.
Shall we move to the closing of the argument, Adam?
Yes, right. I'll speed run this last bit because obviously we move into the post-COVID world. So in season, well, I guess we start just before it. So in season 9, Loki changed their name a couple of times. They became Nova Series for a bit, and then they were signed by 11th Esports, owned by Gareth Bale. Now, in season 9, I think it's worth saying that they went 7-0 in the South American region, and they went 21-4. They lost 4 games in league play, and then they only lost a further 7 games in the play-ins, losing 11 games in the entire season. And they were looking really significantly better than they even did the previous season. And, well, we know what happened with the World Championship, so I'm not going to go over that.
Is that it for season 9?
Yeah, that's all I'm going on in season 9.
Kuro, is there anything lower than Team Secret?
I mean, I can move the dial
Liquid.
lower.
No, don't go with the extra effort. I remember being in a VC at this time, and I got asked to cast the regional. And Adam had watched me cast this team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a point here that we're
There we
missing.
go. That's Danny.
It was more the case of the fact of it here. I don't think Adam has forgot how well they played at this time here.
I mean, they were playing...
Just stating 21-4 record. Can you give that a bit more context here? Because frankly, I don't think you're giving that the service they deserve. You have actually done them a disservice here.
Right, okay. I'm just mainly conscious on the time at the moment.
I don't care. I'm making you answer that question. Who could you compare that team in league play, EU or NA wise, to?
Realistically, that level of dominance was Pete Dignitas dominance, which to have in a region, really, especially a region that was growing and had established teams, like you had Avidity, who were the former Lotus roster, they were still amongst the best teams. You had the Free Sins, which was Valt's new team with Matix and PJ, which was also a very good roster. You had True Neutral. Everybody knows about them, obviously, these days, and their story they went on to have. And they smashed everyone. It wasn't even close.
Okay, well, that being the case, let's move on to the finale here.
Right, so in Season X, basically that came around and they got involved in the first real power struggle. The transfer of the experienced player and Shad to true neutral really gave a team that brought in a team that would obviously, we know how good these guys were. These two rosters had a power struggle throughout all of 2020, really just battling to see who was the best roster. And I think COVID did a bit of a disservice to the region where people obviously there was very little information to go on how good South America were, and I think it's a testament to say that this Furia roster, because I know there was a transfer with Jan that eventually came, but this Furia roster was battling a team that would go on to qualify for a major in North America, which I don't think anybody would have imagined being a possibility for a South American team to do. And these series, like just about every series, it was going to Game 7. It was always on a knife edge. Like, these guys were the two kings of the region. And in season, obviously in the latest season, I think whenever True Neutral left, I think arguably people would have thought, okay, that's an absolute powerhouse of a roster gone from the region. How is that going to impact this team? Especially given that Kyle, now 21 years old, he's been playing at a high level now for 5 years, which is longer than most players' careers. But really what's happened since is that Furia are performing at a higher level now than they ever have. He's picked out Yanks as a player, and the backbone that him and Card have given him now has meant that in this most recent major, they finished 6th in the world. They won their group that included Endpoint, who were one of the high up seeds from Europe. You had Energy, who were the previous major finalists, and a decent Renegade squad. And in the league play season, again, absolutely dominating the season, to say the least. I'm just double checking the results because I realised I stupidly didn't write them in.
While he has a quick search there, just without bringing the dial up here, are we moving towards interested or turning off?
I'm interested. I think it's I'm kind of excited. Adam's got me a little bit more interested in Fury going into the spring major. So I'll be true neutral.
And by the looks of it, I think Kuro is ready to go to bed here. I don't think he's interested at all.
No, I'm good. I just muted because there was some noise.
I realised I was just double checked. And Furia in their region have won 6 out of 9 of the regionals, which is pretty damn dominant, I would argue.
Okay.
Adam, would you say that that's more of a comment on Furia or the region?
I would argue it's a comment on Furia, considering that even at the fall major, the likes of Era Eternity, who was really the third or fourth best team in South America, were taking eventual finalist Energy to Game 5.
Right.
South America is getting depth, and I know we did predictions earlier, but I can see Secret even picking up a couple of series wins because they are that good. Also worth adding that Team Secret is Math's team, who was the player that Kaio basically took from obscurity, and he's now arguably one of the best players as well in the region, and has been for a very long time.
Adam, I just see Danny has his hand raised. I think he has something to say.
No, I'm just going to say, Adam, your last statement, and we'll have it finishing there.
And then we can do like a final dial.
Yes.
Right. My last statement is saying that I'm not arguing that Furia are about to win a major, or that.
Yes, you are.
I think they're top 6 material.
Based on your prediction, you basically are. Top 4, I think?
No, I put them top 6, if I remember correctly. But the growth that Kaio's had in his career and the longevity of it, 5 years, and he basically built up the South American region to the point where people took it seriously. Psionics eventually got involved, did bring them into the RCS fold. I don't think Sam gets that without a player like Kaio, because they've had players that have come and gone in the scene. They've had a lot of players that have come out. It's like players like Val and that have been at majors, Matix, Ren, and Tander, all of these very good players, and they're not about anymore. Their careers really, got to that level within a year and a half, and then they were suffocated out of the scene by all the new talent that came. Kaio has been there for 5 years. He's been on a top roster consistently now for about four of those 5 years. And really, they're just making more and more progress. In the fall major, they didn't have the best fall major, but the winter split showed that these guys are capable of coming in and competing with the very best in the world. And it should be said that in the double elimination bracket, the only two teams that beat them was G2 and, well, now Moist, who would go on to obviously be the finalists.
I mean, it's a
including-
double elimination bracket, so the fact that they only lost 2 games, I feel like maybe not the most impressive.
Okay, my point is more losing 2 games to the teams that went on to be the finalists. And
Who
losing
did they win
them
against?
narrowly. They won against. I'm gonna have to pull this up. Major. Right, so in it, they'd beaten NRG, they'd beaten Endpoint.
Sorry, what's this in?
This was in the Winter Major.
What?
Yeah.
I did not
Fury were
watch the
good.
Winter Major very closely. That's very impressive. You can put me up
Exactly.
to is Mouse the good one or the bad one?
Mouse is bad.
Mouse is the bad one.
Move me to
Second
the
worst.
move me
Right.
to the second best one. That's
And I
that's,
should say,
So are we doing final dial time now?
Right.
Adam, you should have led with that. That's
Well,
pretty
well,
spicy.
I was building up to it.
Right. With that being the case, as Psycho would love to point out, that is the opinion piece in the Misinformed Times by the Atom man himself, the engineer. Has he crafted an opinion that is worthy for Mount Rushmore? Well, we'll start with Sam. Where are you on the dial of interest?
Definitely flip side. I was in
Flip flop
the
there, were you?
flip flop. Yeah. Well, I've been kind of flip flopping all over the place. Adam's argument had some really strong points and some less strong points. The likes of losing 2 games in double elim, not particularly gripping. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see how they do in the spring. That'll be cool.
Earl.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be on the flip side as well. Took a while to get there, but I think it ended on a strong point, and definitely shows why maybe you should pay attention to Caillou at the spring major now.
Following that, it will be 3 flip sides across the board. It's a clean sweep for Atom. We are interested in the player and potentially for Furia in the spring major. With that being the case, I'm going to hammer that bleeding point, Tom, and I hate you, second, for mentioning it. That is our podcast wrapping up here. We have covered predictions. We have covered Who Am I with our special new announcement too, and the Misinformed Times. So I'll go around our panel before we officially sign off. Kuro, any last thoughts?
No, not really. I guess we'll see whose predictions were the most accurate. Probably coin flip one, to be fair. But yeah,
I'd love that. It'd be
No.
great.
no special thoughts.
Tom?
Follow at LTXSam RL on Twitter, of course. Oh, what do I want to say? There's so much pressure. A good podcast, definitely long. I think it went longer than the running time, but I think the quality, quality unmatched. Thank you everyone for listening. Always enjoy, and yeah, I look forward to seeing whose predictions are right, and maybe seeing some of you guys in London as well. Who knows?
True, true.
I'm going to plug soundcloud.com/dots_music with a K. Because we've actually finally started mastering songs for the album.
No way.
Oh,
So exciting stuff coming.
that's awesome.
Which I might force to be the pre-stream music before this.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do you think we can get the rights?
That's it. I
That'd be
don't
awesome.
need to pay anybody for it. Fantastic.
Awesome. That'll be good. And okay, well, look at us going places. Go on, Danny. I see you're laughing.
Oh, no, I just enjoy that. With massive thanks to, of course, Sam, Kuro, Atom, and myself. If you have enjoyed the podcast, feel free to follow us on Twitch, Spotify, Apple, and, of course, YouTube. This has been the Part-Time Podcast, the second episode. Until next time, we'll see you then.